Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, we can do better than that for this occasion. Good morning. Hey, that's a lot better. Thank you for coming and joining us today as we celebrate this wonderful occasion of opening our new municipal facility. It's great to be here. We're excited about it. It's been a quite an arduous road, and now today we're going to celebrate that occasion for being here. But we're going to do some introductions first, and I have a list here. And if we forget miss anyone, charge it to our heart, not our head, because in a crowd like this, we're going to miss somebody. We're going to start with the Buda City Council, and we're going to start with our Honorable Mayor, George Hunt. And would you please stand to be recognized when we call your name? Our Honorable Mayor Pro Tem, Mr. Wiley Hopkins. City Council Member, Ms. Remy Fallon. City Council Member, the Honorable David Knuckles. David. City Council Member, the Honorable Evan Toure. City Council Member, the Honorable Lee Urbanowski. And I think we covered the City Council. We have some, Paul. Stand up, Paul. Paul Dodgero, Honorable Paul Dodgero. I apologize, Paul. We have our ex-mayor and City Council member, Mr. Bobby Lane. We also have Miss Eileen Altmiller, who's a former council member and library board member. We have Mr. Jose Montoya, who's ex-council member, but also president of the Economic Development Corporation. And did I miss any council members or ex-council members? Okay, very good. Next, we have our Honorable State Senator, Ms. Donna Campbell. And we have representing our U.S. Senator's office, John Connor's office, Ms. Sandy Edwards. Any other state officials that we meet are federal. We have our County Commissioner, Precinct 2, Mr. Mark Jones. We have from our school board, Dr. Eric Wright. Ms. Eric. We have our EDC board today, which will be joining us in our new facility. We have, again, I mentioned Mr. Jose Montoya, who's president of the EDC. We also have Mr. Jeremy Diacala. Jeremy Diacala. Ms. Joy Hart. Mr. Jim Lewis. Ms. Tia Pear. And I think that's all we have with the EDC board. Library Commission, we have Ms. Carolyn Fees, who was a former member as a part of this project. We have Ms. Sue Bellows, current commissioner. Ms. Janice Curley. Ms. Beth Martinez. Mr. Clark Lyman. And James Williams. Okay. And understand Mr. Mark Hunter was able to make it. Mark Hunter. We also have representative from Baylor Scott and White, Ms. Anne Marie Price. From Centerpoint Energy, Ms. Nelda Juarez. We have Mr. Scott Carey, Justice of the Peace of Buda. Gary Langshaw from our fire department. And we'd also like to acknowledge Mr. Ray Brown and Sandra Brown. And I certainly...
Constable John Ellen.
And Constable John Ellen. Is there anyone else? And, Angela Kennedy, who's an ex-council member and also now city employee with the city of Buda. Angela. And as I scan the crowd, I don't see anyone else. Okay, we'll move from that one. We also would like to thank the Friends of the Library organization for their continued support of the library and its programming through generous donations and volunteerism. So let's give them a hand. We will try to get this done in 45 minutes or less. We know that it's getting warm out here, and you think it's warm out there, it's really warm up here. So we will move as quickly as possible. We'll be recognizing our design and construction team later in the program. However, if you were involved in the design and construction of the facility, please stand and be recognized at this time. We want to offer our appreciation and gratitude to lead architect Paige Sutherland Page for their work in designing these beautiful and useful buildings, and to J.E. Dunn for their diligence and hard work in bringing these buildings to life. This project consisted of nearly 40 trade partners, including several local beauty companies and a team of design engineers. So let's give them a hand too. Okay, next we'll have the posting of the colors, followed by the singing of the national anthem. At this time, we would ask you that you would please rise for the posting of the colors. The flags are being posted by members of the Buda VFW Post 12161, led by Commander David Condell and members Rachel Patrick and Michael Garceau. Also, American Legion Post 213, led by Commander Stuart Hart, and AMVETS Post 115, led by Commander Carmen Hammond, and members Larry Kaiser, Rick Hanks, Larry Meacham, and Guard Captain Travis Coddington. Please remain standing for the singing of the national anthem by Buda Police Officer Joshua McNeil afterwards.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly singing, and the rocket's red glow, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was is still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of our brave?
Will you join me in prayer, please? Gracious God, a creator, sustainer, and rescuer of all humankind, incline your ear as we celebrate the grand opening of this splendid new facility. For truly, unless you bless our labors, this project is incomplete. Receive our praise for giving us citizen bond supporters, city visionaries, planners, leaders, as well as the Page architects and the J.E. Dunn craft and construction workers, whose expertise and endeavors have brought us to this day without any serious injuries or deaths. Bless all who work in this building with integrity, undergirding them with a disposition towards selfless service that reflects your own gracious attitude toward us. In the council chambers, guide the deliberations and decisions of its members with competence, compassion, and sacrifice for the benefit of all citizens. In every staff office, endow all who discharge their duties with a desire to go the extra mile for the sake of others. In the library, support with wisdom from on high the learning and special programs that aim to improve our minds and help forge a wholesome community for all. May the Emergency Operations Center never be used, or, if it is activated, may those who serve and those who are served experience your calming presence, support, and guidance throughout the emergency. Dear God, in these days of increasing civil disrespect and violence, spread your protective arms around all who enter and exit this building, from its parking lot to its innermost spaces. Bless young and old, workers and visitors with safety and security. Again, dear God, as we seek your blessing, we praise you for the joy and accomplishment we share this day. And additionally, may your mercy forgive our offenses and your presence grace our journey through life together. Now, acknowledging our various ways in which we approach you, dear God, I offer this prayer on behalf of all, in the powerful name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
You may be seated.
Just wrap this way. Yeah, let's see. There. That's better.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, David. On September 1, 2016, many of us stood and sat on these grounds as we commemorated the groundbreaking to build the new municipal facilities for the city of Buda. On that day, we paid homage to the existing facilities, but acknowledged the lack of building infrastructure needed for the citizens of Buda and their growing city. There was little space for a police department, growing library, economic development office, and city offices that did not exist just a few years earlier, not to mention a lack of meeting areas. The groundbreaking was a result of many years of patience and persistence that was rewarded only after steady praise to the heavens above. Today, we're back to have a ceremony for the completion of the building project, a project that was made possible by the citizens of Buda who voted to provide the resources to do so. Those citizens include the Buda City Council, Buda Bond Advisory Council, the Library Commission, Friends of the Library, all planning committees, and the citizens who had the confidence to pass Proposition 1 and 2, which provided funding for the vision of these facilities, which are now a reality. The City of Buda has completed this dream in a responsible way. We have facilities that will take the city decades into the future, that was completed with an accountable approach. The tax implication is less than what we ask of the voters. Partnerships are created in working with entities like the Economic Development Corporation. Public safety is greatly augmented with a modern police facility and state-of-the-art emergency management center. Culture, the arts, and learning are enhanced with the modern library, and productivity efficiencies are greatly improved with most city departments being under one roof. We can now have meetings without the interruption of the train or the threat of crossing the tracks as we participate in meetings. But let it be known that we do love trains in Buda, and it's a very important part of what we do and who we are. Was this an easy process? We would all be kidding ourselves if we said yes, as anything worthwhile is not easy. In the groundbreaking ceremony, I mentioned 3 things. 1, there are some occurrences in life you cannot control no matter how hard you try. 2, there are some things you can live without, as we found out in building the project. And 3, if you are on a divine assignment of doing the right thing, you will be okay. I think we did okay. Thank you, citizens. Thank you, City Council, commissions, boards, EDC, designers, contractors, as we all had a joint prophecy in seeing this done. Thank you, city staff, for your hard work and resiliency in an ever-changing situation. And I'm really proud of you and city staff. In closing, I bring back the quote from Nelson Mandela. It always seems impossible until it's done. Well, Nelson, it's done. And you were right, it was not impossible. Now the hard work begins, as the facilities are used for their purpose of delivering a superior quality of life for the citizens of Buda. Staff and I pledge a commitment to that goal. But today we celebrate. So please join us in enjoying this event as we manage today, so that citizens can use these facilities to enhance their children's lives well now and well into the future. Thank you. Okay, next we're going to hear from three representatives from the project, various people who work with the project. And first we're going to start with Paige Sutherland Page. One of the things that was evident when we started and worked on this project was that we chose the right designers, architects. And when we started talking with the person that's going to speak to you today, I had no doubt that we would have an awesome facility after speaking to them only once or twice. My only question was, what could we afford it in a government building? So we had to tame them down quite a bit, but we got it done. So I would like to bring forth Miss Jenny Chilton. Jenny is a graduate of Texas A&M. She's a senior project manager for Paige Sutherland Page. I don't need it.
On behalf of Paige, I want to thank the city leadership, Mr. Williams, Ray Cresswell, Melinda Hodges, council, the steering committee, and the citizens of Buda. It was your vision that sparked this wonderful project. And by keeping the city's values of community and service in focus, and with the forward-thinking master plan and bond that co-located the city and the library and the city hall together, the new building will serve as the city's hub and living room, a place to do business with the city, gather as a community, and bring the family for story time with Martha and Melinda. I do want to recognize the design and engineering team, Doucette and Associates Civil Engineers, Datum and Datum Rios Structural Engineers, Datacom Technology Design, and Page principals that are here with us today, Michael Mace, John Sylvie, and Talmadge Smith, and page design team Jonathan Schwartz, Bill Huey, Amanda Martinez, Kim Nordoff, and JJ Puga. In design, we envision the places that we want to create for the people within them, and hope for a day like today to celebrate those people who made the vision become reality.
Thank you, Jenny. Next, we will hear from Mr. Mark Christopher, or J.E. Dunn, who's a senior project manager and a graduate of Central Missouri State. Thank you.
Thank you. Mayor, City Council, elected officials, business leaders, and citizens of Buda. Good morning. I'm Mark Christopher with J. Dunn Construction Company and had the great privilege to act as the senior project manager during the pre-construction and construction of this project. It seems like yesterday we were here inspecting the site in preparation for our interview with the steering committee. I can still remember the interview in the old council chambers, and after walking out feeling truly excited with the prospect of J. Dunn earning the opportunity to work on this project. That was over 3 years ago today. J. Dunn was awarded the construction contract on August 18, 2015 for Propositions 1, 2, and 5. If you recall, severe storms and subsequent flooding hit the Buda area in October of 2015. The team paused, evaluated other potential sites, and came up with some options that would allow the design to move forward at the originally planned location, one of which is the open channel you see today. We experienced a couple other pause moments in regards to budget and the ultimate relocation of the heritage tree that now resides south of the new library. The teams collaborated and persevered through all of these pause moments. Proposition 5, the Parks Maintenance Building, was completed in January of 2017, at the same time the heritage tree was being relocated. Proposition 2, the new police department, was completed in October of 2017. Proposition 1 consists of the City Hall and Public Library, was the final component to this multifaceted municipal complex, which was completed earlier this year. Besides having the opportunity to collaborate and build these facilities, we developed lasting friendships. I can't stand here and lie and say that we didn't have our challenging moments at times, but in the end, we can all be proud of the outcome and what we were able to deliver to the community of Buda. I can also stand here and say that all these propositions were delivered on time and under budget. I'd like to thank the city administration and steering committee members. Although this was our job, you ultimately volunteered your time as you all had a city to run while attending design and progress meetings throughout this 3-year design and construction process. I'd also like to thank the architect and engineering teams consisting of Page, Doucette, Datum, Datacom, and others, our trade partners, and fellow employees of J. Dunn on the overall success of this great project. On behalf of J. Dunn Construction Company, I'd like to take this opportunity and congratulate you on a true asset that will serve the community for generations to come. As you tour the facility today and experience the reading garden on the south side, I hope the city's motto of "Breathe Easy Here" resonates with you all. Thank you and have a great day.
Next, we're going to have our librarian, Ms. Melinda Hodges. Melinda has been our librarian for several years. She took over after a great person, Margie Martinez, and now we will have Melinda.
Good morning. Thank you to everyone for coming out to celebrate this amazing occasion with us. People in our community have been working towards this goal for over a decade. Our board of directors, our friends group, library commissioners, city council members, and more have been laying the foundation that led to this beautiful building. They knew that the Buda Public Library needed to become something more to continue to fulfill the information needs of the citizens of Buda and Hays County. Lin-Manuel Miranda writes, "What is a legacy? It's planting seeds in a garden you never get to see." Library work is like that sometimes. You never know. Is this the resume that starts someone on their perfect career? Is this the story time that will create a lifelong love of reading? Is this the book that will fulfill the exact need that the reader feels right now? I'm sure our supporters felt the same way, wondering if this report, this meeting, this conversation would be the seed that would take root. Right about 4 years ago, our city council decided it was time to ask the voters if they were ready to make this commitment. And dear voters, enough of you said yes that we were able to make it so. At our groundbreaking, we spoke about these facilities being a symbol of the commitment we've made to the current and future residents of Buda, to meet their educational, cultural, safety, and civic needs. Now we are ready to fulfill that commitment. With this new library, we have an expanded and growing collection to keep our community reading and thinking, listening and growing. We have room to have more programs, story times, and activities to establish and nurture a child's love of reading and learning, classes that teach students that there's a world of information right at their fingertips, and groups that bring neighbors together by teaching new skills and fostering a love of community. People will have access to technologies that enhance communication and education, and that allow them to experiment and make things, to fail, persist, and try again. We're ready to be all this and to grow with Buda as it changes. As J.K. Rowling tells us, when in doubt, go to the library. Today we celebrate the blossoms of the result of years and years of planting seeds. We honor everyone that brought this into fruition. And then we get to work planting more seeds so that the future of Buda is just as beautiful and exciting as this moment now. Thank you.
Thank you, Melinda. And before I bring up Ann Miller, Buda Economic Development Corporation, I'd like to acknowledge Mr. Billy Gray, one of our ex-mayors, is here. We didn't get him earlier. Ann's going to speak to you. Ann's been our Economic Development Director for some time now, graduate of Oklahoma State. And Ann we will partner with the Economic Development Corporation. Their office will be in this building. Ann.
Good morning. The Buda Economic Development Corporation is honored to be a part of today's festivities and to be leasing space in this beautiful facility. Our offices have changed significantly from humble beginnings, with our first office, which was a table in the City Hall break room, to owning and being a landlord of what would eventually become the City Hall Annex, and then finally settling in long-term at our old office on Railroad Street before moving to this facility. In 2013, when former Assistant City Manager Brian Laborde approached the EDC about participating in the city's facility needs assessment, I never imagined it would lead to the complex you see before you today. The unique partnership that allows us to lease space and maintain our separate identity while being housed under the same roof as the City of Buda is an example for other cities to follow. This partnership has already spurred additional collaboration, the sharing of staff, and other resources, which will only continue to be an asset to the citizens in the future. Mr. Williams has already recognized our current EDC board members, but I'd like to also recognize current and former EDC board members in attendance because they've all had a hand in our organization's development that's brought us here today. And I'd be remiss if I didn't also acknowledge my staff members, Kim, who basically came on board in the middle of a move, and then Mandy, who organized and facilitated our entire move while I was away on a business trip. Finally, I'd like to thank the City Council and staff for allowing this partnership and for the EDC to have a home in this wonderful facility. We are truly humbled to be able to call the Buda Municipal Complex our home. Thank you.
Our next speaker, who started out as a city council member and now is mayor of our great city, we'd like to bring forward our Honorable Mayor, Mr. George Hung.
Well, I'll start off by thanking everybody for coming out here and dealing with the heat. I'll keep it short, probably 45 minutes or so. I know, but no, I want to thank everybody that's involved in this. And we started off several years ago looking at what the needs of the city and the city staff would have to be 20 years from now. And what was the space needed and how much would we actually be able to afford? And we moved forward with the help of Angela Kennedy and everybody involved. And then the planning started, and then the argument and the debate of how much is too much. How much can we afford? What do we actually need? And we looked at what was happening in our old library. It's 5,000 square feet, and all of the children's activities that were going on there, and then the needs of the people, the adults, the teens, and the children. And we come up with 25,000 square feet to be pretty well meeting the needs for the future. And then the debate started of, what does the staff actually need? Well, it's too much. No, it's too little. No, we need to do this. And then we looked at people having to go across the railroad tracks, twisting ankles to go from the planning to the engineering and back to the city council and the city manager's office. So we consolidated everything into one city hall complex tied to the library, which was an economy of scale. We saved some money. And then we looked at the site, and the site had its issues. And I have to take my hat off to Mike and all of the crew from the city public works department. They came in here and they saved us hundreds of thousands of dollars by taking care of the drainage issues. And the drainage that you see here behind me, some people call it the moat. That drainage issue was solved by Mike and his crew, and it saved us hundreds of thousands of dollars. So Mike, when it came to the IT committee sit down, and of course, everybody, you have the wants, and then you have the needs. And the IT committee, David and Lee, my hats off to y'all, you saved us a lot of money as well. Looking at the needs, to meet the needs of the people now and into the future, but to not overstep. Because, when it comes to IT, you can always spend a whole heck of a lot of money. Real fast and real easy. So, my hat's off to y'all. But it was a collaborative effort. Everybody came together, and everyone, the library commission, the parks committee, everybody sat down and said, what can we do to make this the most beautiful city hall at the cost that we can afford? And we came up with it. It's a one-stop shop. Everybody can go here and get a gateway to the past in the library, and a path to the future, and a vision, all in one stop. If you need to deal with the city, it's a one-stop shop. It simplifies it, serves the people, and makes it a lot easier for the staff to serve the needs. And I thank everybody again for coming out here in the sun to listen to everyone move forward with this. And Ray Cresswell, sir, you took some punishment. But you always had a smile on your face, and you always met the challenge, and I appreciate your help. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Mayor. And as I scan the crowd, I keep seeing someone we miss. And I'd like to acknowledge Ms. LaTanya Bergies, who worked on our PR campaign to get our bond propositions passed. Next, we'll have some special recognitions as we hurry along. We have some flags up here on the dais. We have one from Congressman Lamar Smith, who's unable to attend today due to prior commitments, and the flag was flown at the nation's capital. Also, today we have with us Miss Sandy Edwards from Senator John Cornyn's office, and she's here to present the city of Buda with another United States flag flown at the Capitol. Sandy, if you could, okay, you can use Lamar's. But thank you, Sandy. We appreciate it for being here today. Congressman Doggett wasn't able to be here today based upon prior commitments too. We're honored to have our state senator, Ms. Donna Campbell, in attendance with us this morning. Senator Campbell, please join us on stage. She is presenting a flag flown at the Texas Capitol, Mayor George Hahn, in honor of the grand opening of the Municipal complex.
Well, thank you. What a beautiful day. Yes, hot, but at least we have a breeze, right? First I want to thank all the veterans who are here, give us our freedom, give us the ability to congregate like this. Thank you so much. Yes, I want to present you with a Texas flag flown over our capital for the city of Buda. You know, I always say the blessing of perseverance is success, and looking behind you, you see the blessing of your success, not only in physical form, but the dynamics that will go on inside there for the community, and the people that will leave this community blessed by this complex will grow and keep our state strong. And what a great prayer of dedication that we have, right? So, Mayor, I want to present you this flag. Don't want these papers to go flying. Stick them right under the notebook. Perfect. So this is a Texas flag, and there's a certificate of authentication in the bottom, and if I take it out, it's going to blow. So, all right. Thank you so much, Mayor. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Senator Campbell, and thanks for coming today. This project started as a result of the direction of the City Council and the Buda Bond Advisory Commission. This group of volunteers helped shape the 2014 bond election, which led to the construction of both the City Hall and Library as Proposition 1 and the Public Safety Building as Proposition 2. They recognize the important role that municipal facilities play in creating a sense of community pride and unity. They understood the significant role of libraries in providing community services. For that reason, we would like to thank the members of the Buda Bond Advisory Committee that gave countless hours shaping a bond package that were approved by the citizens of Buda. Those members were Sue Bellows, Nancy Brinkley, Freddie Cantu, Diane Falcone, Wayne Harnett, Bob Killam, Vincent Lecca, Beth Martinez, Tommy Poor. Where's Tommy? Hey, Tommy. Let's give Tommy a hand. Josue Sanchez, Wendy Scott, and Colin Strother. Let's give the entire group a hand. In closing, we want to recognize some project teams. So Mayor Hunt, if you will assist in handing out some plaques, which are stacked there on the table. The design team of Jenny Chilton of Page and Bill Huey of Page Architects. I don't think Bill's here today. So, okay, well, you can get it. He's not here. Construction management team, Brian Hallett, Daniel Berhano, Mark Christopher, Chris Curry, Ruben Cardoza, Graham Jones, all of G.E. Dunn. A commissioning team, Mike Lackey, LCCX, and Chris Thompson, LCCX. Are they here? And Miss Diana Gonzalez of Broadus. They're not here. We'd like to give special thanks to our own staff project manager, Mr. Ray Creswell. When Ray started this job, he had jet black hair. So you can see what he's gone through with this project. Thank you, Mr. Williams. Ray's attention to detail and years of experience as an architect helped bring the City Council vision to life. And also, talking about a tag team, to Ray's wife, Karen Creswell, for her donation of artwork located throughout the building. I believe Ray and Karen might have grandchildren in attendance with us today. Give us a wave. Thank you so much to the family for allowing us to use Ray and Karen's talents for this project. We know they gave up a lot of time and a lot of weekends to get this done. So as you peruse the building, be sure and take a look at the art that was put forth by Karen. Again, as the mayor mentioned, we would like to thank the Buda Public Works Department, who saved taxpayers' funds by constructing the drainage improvements out here, which saved us hundreds of thousands of dollars, which enabled the project to come in within budget. and also improvement in the Parks Department and the Parks Department for their ongoing care. Where are the parks? Where's Greg? Hey, Parks, Greg. We'd like to thank all of you that helped. And today I'd like to thank in particular for today's event, Mr. Michael Graw. Where's Michael? Michael was the architect of this celebration and this event. Michael's hiding somewhere. Also, Miss Alicia Ramirez, who worked with it, Fernandez. And as someone mentioned, a person who doesn't work with us anymore, but worked really hard and diligently in getting our proposition done was Mr. Brian Laborde, who was an assistant city manager here. So we like to acknowledge Brian for all the hard work he did on this project. Thank you again for joining us for the grand opening today. Before we cut the ribbon, let everyone into the building. We have a few announcements to make, and it looks like I'm to make these announcements. We have refreshment, gifts, and activities in the lobby and on the south lawn following this ceremony, including tours of the facility. The tours are self-guided, but will begin in the lobby by the customer service windows. City staff is stationed throughout the building to answer any questions that you may have, and a video documenting the construction of the facilities will be played in the multi-purpose room. The library will be holding a room dedication ceremony for the Marjorie E. Martinez and the Lucy and Lawrence Till rooms at 10:30 in the City Council chambers. We'll be taking pictures immediately following the ribbon cutting. Team members and elected officials are asked to meet in front of the stage for pictures. And at this time, as we close, I will ask the current and former City Council members, there's our train, there it is. We could not have a celebration without our train. Also, Library Commission members, Buda EDC board members, and other elected officials, please gather in front of the volunteer for the ribbon cutting. Others are invited to stand behind on the bridge of the ribbon cutting ceremony. Once the City Hall and Library ribbon cutting is complete, the City Council, Buda Economic Development Board, other elected officials, along with the Buda Chamber directors, should gather in front of the EDC entrance, which is along the sidewalk in front of the building, and for a ribbon cutting. And the Chamber is in charge of ribbon cutting, so J.R. Gonzalez, do you have any specific instructions? You want the mic? Okay. JR never met a mic he didn't like, so we're gonna get it.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. Folks, I want to get away from this for feedback. JR Gonzalez, the Butte Area Chamber of Commerce. We are honored to be invited to do a ribbon cutting. So we want to welcome everybody not only to this occasion of the dedication of this building, but we're going to ask that, starting with elected officials, and everybody is welcome. The photographer, I believe, is going to set up over here on a ladder and take a picture this way. Mr. Chairman, raise your hand right there, Jay, in between me. We're going to stretch the ribbon, and then so if folks who want to be in the picture, if you can get behind there, we'll go ahead and take a picture. We'll do it quickly. We'll cut the ribbon, and that photograph will go into history, prosperity, and you can say, I was there. So, without any further ado, if you have Mr. Williams, get your crew over here. We're going to start lining up. Folks that are sitting here, Judge, you can stay there, but if you want to be in the picture, you may want to stand up. But we're going to start moving over here, and then we'll get this picture taken. Then right after that, we're going to have another ribbon cutting with the EDC, their board of directors, and if you want to be in the second photograph, we can go right over there for the EDC.
So congratulations, y'all made it to the finals on America's Got Talent. When you hear that loud pop, nobody hit the deck, go for your concealed weapon, it's okay. All right, photographers, are we ready?
I'm up. Sorry, where are we looking?
Right here.
Now he sat down.
All right, guys, move back. Back, paparazzi.
In as close as you can, everybody.
Guys, squeeze in on each side, pretend you like each other. Take a deep breath, hold your breath, think skinny. Think skinny. Okay, ribbon cutters, ribbon holders, pull it a little tight. Okay? Hold on. On the count of 3. On the count of 3, then nobody move, all right? Count of 3, we're going to cut. 1, 2, 3. All right. Now everybody just wave, guys. Hold up. When I raise my hand, y'all start cheering behind them. Jennifer. Okay, get in tight. Quiet on the set. Just say who you are, what you go. We're going to start Mary with you. We'll go Mr. Williams.
Kenneth Williams, city manager.
Hang on. I didn't cue you. Well, quiet. Here we go.
Kenneth Williams, city manager, city of Buda.
George Hahn, mayor, city of Buda.
Senator Donna Campbell. Congratulations, Buda.
Yay.